What does it take to become the first? Not the first to try, the first to actually walk through a door that history insisted was locked. Between 1946 and 1950, 3 Igbo men did exactly that. No university back home to train them, no money waiting on the other side, just discipline, sharp enough to walk into the world's oldest universities and force them to hand over a doctorate. One of them would die within a year of making history before the world ever learned his name. This is a countdown. 3 doctorates ranked by how impossible they really were. And number 3 is about to rewrite what you think you already know. At number 3, Kenneth Onwuka Dike, born in Oka in 1917, orphaned young and raised by his grandfather. Dike's education was a relay race across 3 continents. Fora Bay College in Sierra Leone, a master's from Aberdeen, and finally a PhD in history from King's College, London in 1950. His thesis, Trade and Politics in the Niger Delta, 1830 to 1885, did something radical for its time. It treated African societies as political actors with their own strategy and agency, not passengers in someone else's colonial story. King's College, London itself, credits Dike as the first African to complete professional Western academic training as a historian. He came home and didn't just build a career, he built institutions. First African professor of history in Nigeria, 1956. First African principal of University College, Ibadan, 1958. And in 1960, when the college became a full university, its first vice-chancellor, Nigerian Igbo, in charge of the country's premier seat of learning. He founded the National Archives of Nigeria. He built the Institute of African Studies. He trained the next generation of African historians. Names like Jacob Ade Ajayi, Toyin Folala, who went on to dismantle brick by brick the colonial myth that Africa had no history worth writing. When the Civil War made Ibadan unsafe for him, he resigned his post and became Biafra's roving ambassador. He died in 1983. The library at Ibadan still carries his name. Number 3, the man who didn't just earn a doctorate in history, he changed whose history got believed. Number 2, Chike Obi. Born in 1921, Obi had no formal university to start in either. He read mathematics as an external student through the University of London, teaching himself a discipline most people need a campus to survive. From there, he won a scholarship to Pembroke College, Cambridge. His work on nonlinear differential equation using the perturbation technique to find periodic solutions where mathematically none seemed obvious. It's dense abstract work, and it got published in the Proceedings of the Cambridge Philosophical Society, becoming a required reading for mathematicians decades later. Here is where honesty matters more than a clean story. Most institutional records, Cambridge's own admission archives included, credit Obi's 1950 doctorate to Cambridge, but several Nigerian biographical accounts insist he completed doctoral work at MIT in Massachusetts. Around the same year, the most reliable academic biography from the University of St. Andrews History of Mathematics Archive resolves it like this. Obi did his doctoral research and thesis at Cambridge, England. The MIT connection was a summer research program he attended afterwards before sailing home. 2 universities, one unmistakable fact. In 1950, Chike Obi became the first Nigerian to hold a doctorate in mathematics. He didn't retreat into theory. He lectured at Ibadan, then Lagos. He entered politics, helped negotiate Nigeria's path to independence in London. He died in 2008, remembered by African Mathematical Union as one of the continent's sharpest minds to ever live. Number 2, a man who proved with pure logic that an Igbo village boy with no university could outthink the empire's own system. Number 1, this is the one that started it all. Nnodu Joel Okongwu was born in Nnewi in 1920 into a Nigeria with no university of its own. To get a doctorate, you didn't just need brains, you needed a ship ticket. Okongwu finished elementary school in 1932, moved through Dennis Memorial Grammar School in Onitsha, and by 1942 had crossed the Atlantic with a bachelor's degree from Lincoln University. That same year, he enrolled at Columbia's Teachers College and earned his master's in school administration in under 6 months. Then, he went further to New York University, a doctorate in education. His desertion, a history of Nigerian schooling under and before European rule, research that essentially asked the colonial system to explain itself using its own academic language. He wasn't working in isolation either. While he studied, he corresponded with W.E.B. Du Bois, the African-American scholar and architect of Pan-Africanism, who personally invited him to speak at a colonial conference on conditions in Nigeria. A 24-year-old Igbo student treated as a peer by one of the most important intellectuals of the 20th century. In 1946, at 26 years old, Okongwu became the first Nigerian to earn a PhD from an American university. He accepted a teaching post at Atlanta University, and then, within a year, tragedy struck. He was gone, dead at 27. Nnewi didn't let him disappear. In 1948, the town built its first secondary school and put his name on the gate. Okongwu Memorial School. It still stands. A boy who left home to chase a degree came back as a foundation stone. Number 1, the first, the one who never got to see what he started. 3 men, 3 disciplines, 1 decade, 1946 to 1950. No shared classroom, no shared mentor, no inherited wealth. What they shared was a refusal to accept the limits placed on where an Igbo mind was allowed to go. Okongwu didn't live to see his own legacy. Obi argued differential equations into submission, then argued for his nation's independence. Dike didn't just earn a doctorate in history, he changed whose history God believed. This is the foundation underneath every Igbo engineer, every Igbo professor, every Igbo name now sitting in boardrooms and laboratories across the world. It didn't start with opportunity handed down. It started with 3 men who took it. The Igbo excellence is not new. It is a legacy. If you enjoyed watching this beautiful documentary about these 3 Igbo men who pioneered education in Nigeria, kindly hit the subscribe button and let us know what you think in the comment section. My name once again is Prince Onwuka Ngozi Chukwuka Fortune, and I will see you in my subsequent videos. Bye-bye.
Enuani.